Welcome to Jay and Laura TV. We are Jay and Laura coming to you from beautiful, yet rainy
downtown
Alma and Audio Founder Studios. I gotta tell you, I'm so tired of the rain. I don't know where you live, but it is 3 or 4 days away from June, and we are sitting outside at night with hats on and coats on because it's cold in Michigan.
Well, we did just have Memorial Day,
yes,
and we are so thankful for our veterans and those that have given of themselves to make our life free. And
my brother being one of those.
That's right. Her brother Greg was a Gulf War veteran, and we just want to say thank you and hats off to all of you. Well, we want to recap our Mackinac Conference because it was fantastic. Bill and Pam Farrell taught us so much. Laura and I, we taught people a little bit too. I think we had a
and
really
I think it was raining on Mackinac Island.
That's right. Well, we were actually, Bill and Pam told us that the last talk we gave needs to be our next book, 14 Days to a Better Marriage, and I think we'll probably start working on that here really soon. But one of the most fun things that happen, this is real life, you just can't make this stuff up. Bill and Pam talk about when you have young kids in the house, you need to develop a code word for, hey, I'm in the mood, are you? And one that the kids won't recognize, they'll just think you're talking about some random thing. And so they had given that talk, and we're like, great. And Laura and I get back up to do announcements. We were talking about breakfast the next morning, which is one of my favorite meals at Grand Hotel, because I get to eat real bacon. At our house here in Alma, we don't get real bacon. We get turkey bacon.
It's healthier for you.
But we get real bacon up at Grand Hotel. And so I was telling them about how much I love bacon. And someone from the audience yells, "That should be your code word." And of course, everyone in the audience starts laughing because we don't need a code word anymore.
And it digressed from there.
Then I started thinking about, you know that commercial where that dog's running around the house going, "Bacon, bacon, bacon, I smell bacon." Then one liner
like
after
one. Like I
one.
said, it digressed from there. So if you've been on our Facebook page last week and you've seen all this stuff about bacon, that is the
it sizzles,
meaning
bacon
behind
sizzles. So our new code word for when we want to get amorous is bacon. It used to be bow chicka bow bow, but we'll go to bacon now.
Now it's bacon. Hey, from one of our Facebook viewers, we got a question that says, "My wife and I are so different. Are we normal, or are we just that special couple that we're the only people who are so different from each other? Are other people?" I could sense the frustration in this guy's question.
Let me just tell you, we're so different.
So different.
She grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, the deep South. I grew up in Petoskey, Michigan, backwoods hick boy, all right? Type A driven personality, Mrs. Laid Back, haven't met a nap I don't like, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, we're so different. And that's part of the beauty. That's what attracts you to each other. And so you got to celebrate those differences.
And you also have to really learn what makes your spouse tick. Learn what they like, what they don't like. You are different. Yet there's nothing wrong with being different, but learning those things and sometimes looking back maybe into the family they came from, some of the, maybe where they went to school, some of the people they hung out with, you'll learn a lot about your spouse doing it that way. And what was interesting was I was reading an article. I love to get on Twitter because I like to take out the articles and go, ooh, let's read that later. And I have an app actually called Read That Later, so I can read it later. And so I was reading one of those articles by a gentleman named Delano Squires, and he was talking about 5 things that you can learn from your relationship. And one of those, he said, was between a husband and a wife, what you learn is about yourself. Your spouse can reflect back to you when you're not being patient, when you're not being kind, when you're not being loving. And so as I was thinking about this Facebook viewer's question, our Facebook friend's question, celebrate those differences, because when you look at your spouse is going to reflect those differences that you have. You're going to reflect the differences to your spouse, and you're going to learn more about each other. That's kind of what it's all about in marriage, is learning about each other.
And taking those differences and meshing them together so that you make a team together. Use those strengths, cover up those weaknesses for each other, and become that team that you really dream about becoming as a husband and wife. Well, we're Jay and Laura Laffoon coming to you from Audio Foundry Studios. We're here for your life, your marriage, and your family. We'll see you next week.